Rules, cheers, welcome to hunting Pokemon in Gen 5. Starting off strong, because Unova is so goated, we have to go directly to the Arm tier. Victini is the victory Pokemon for a reason. As for the starters, they are not very different from the norm for these videos. Snivy and Oshawott might cause a little trouble or escape from time to time, but the kid will be enough. And while I believe a group of kids can defeat Servine, the Watt and Pignite clear them more easily, so they go to the other ones. Serperior finally shows its true power and goes straight to multiple hunters. And Boar, I would recommend keeping some distance. And Samurott seems much easier than its Hisuian counterpart, so it will be sharing the tier with its fellow Unovan friends. Patrat tries to be on high alert, but will fail to see opponents coming in from behind. A smart kid can easily defeat it. Watchog is not doing much better either, probably needs an older kid, but still a kid nonetheless. Lipup and Herdier go right after, they are too trusting of humans. Stoutland is as well, but just one kid can't manage to shake it off. A group of kids is where the trouble lies. Purloin and Liepard are way too nimble for a kid alone, and while Purloin stops at a group, Liepard won't be afraid to attack as many kids as it takes, so one adult. The Elemental Monkeys are just diet starters, with their final forms stopping at a group of kids. Munna is also not passing one kid. Muncharna may be too bulky for the kids, so let's call in an adult again. Pidove, Tranquil, and Amphisan are just very normal birds, so they go kid group. Blitzo might need a group of kids from the start. Zebras tend to be pretty aggressive. Because of that, Zebstrika will go to a group of hunters as well. Roggenrola is the worst ball to play ever, making the kids disappointed after working together to defeat it. Boldor needs a little bit more, like a hunter setting traps for it, while Gigalith, no other option than Modern Arms. Woobat and Swoobat are back into the kids, throwing rocks at them for fun. Ruber can escape most situations, so let's call someone with experience. And Excadrill is fast, strong, and not afraid of running if the situation calls for it, so it will be modern hunters on the job. Audino is too bulky, but lacks Muncharna's way of fleeing a group of kids. Chimber has a weapon. Any number of kids is losing easily, but a specialist can defeat it. Gurdurr may cause a little trouble, so calling a friend would be the best. And Conkeldurr, well, good thing we have technology on our side, because only with that and numbers we will put this monster down. Timpole should be a pretty easy W for any kid, and Palpitoad just add a couple more. Seismitoad would be more of a problem, but a lone adult can deal with it. Throw and Salt can defend themselves against a hunter, but will fail against a group. Sewaddle and Swadloon are kids play, with Liveni just one tier higher. Venipede goes back to one kid, but Whirlipede would just run over and poison them kids, so it crashes into the hunter tier, while Scolipede probably takes a full group to stop. Cotone and Petilil are kids play, with Whimsicott and Lilligant not faring much better. Since I put White Stripe on the last video, I guess I should add both stripes here as well, but they are just one kid. Sandile also goes here, just look out for your fingers. Crocorock would be too much for the younglings, and Crocodile will need a group of hunters. Darumaka will need some kids, but bring guns for the Darmanitan. Maractus won't pass a kid. Dwebble soon follows. But Crustle can defend itself from the kids, but hard stops at anyone who knows what they're doing. Scraggy would headbutt a lone kid, but in a group, the kids can do something with minor losses. Crafty being about the same, but with the hunters. Sigilife just needs one good hunter. Yamask would frighten or possess the kids. Someone more cautious will be needed. And Cofagrigus is better to have firepower strong enough to break it. Every fossil will need someone who knows where to look for at least, with Caracosta needing a small group and Archeops modern guns. I gotta say I love how in ZA Trubbish gets happy when you see them. This is also my reasoning for putting them in one kid, way too trusting. Garbodor won't be so easy, so call in the Trashman to dispose of it. Zoro and Zoroark are just like their Hisuian forms, and Illusion won't pass a trained eye. Minchino takes a kid. Chinchino would be too elusive for them, so it takes an specialist. Gochita should have been a baby Pokemon, so it stays in the tier where every baby goes. Cotorita would cause some trouble. It is also much more aware than its prey evolution, but one hunter is enough. For Gothitelle, just up the numbers a bit. While Solosis can escape, it lacks a little in defenses, so a kid can take it. For Duosion, just multiply the number of kids as well. And Reuniclus, a bunch of people with pointy sticks, can make the host to drink the juicy, sweet liquid, which is said to make us smarter. Ducklet is a tiny duck, easy prey. Swanna may take a little team. Vanillite is 5 kilos of pure ice cream for any kid to enjoy. Vanillish is 41 kilos, it could sustain a group of kids for a good while. And Vanillux, it is an extra challenge, but I don't see the need for any other tier. Deerling, no matter which season, is not beating a kid. Southbuck is more of an adult hunt. A kid can create a simple trap for Emolgas. Carablast can't run faster than a kid throws rocks. But Scavalier has the defenses to fight even someone who knows what they're doing. So call in your friend to roast this one. For Fungus, the kids will need to work together so they don't fall asleep. Among Us is even better at its job, but it's no match for a botanist. Frillish would be fished by 2 kids, while Jellystand and Alomomola, a real fisher, would be needed. Joltik is getting squished by 1 kid, but Galvantula probably needs some hunters just to be safe. Ferocid falls into the can't really escape a good trap group, so 1 hunter, but Ferrothorn is a monster. Bring out modern guns and always bring some friends. Just be sure that you go with an equal number of men and women when hunting it. You don't want a Ferrothorn to get the wrong idea and get even more angry. Kling and Clang are getting pulled apart by the kids. They have a vendetta because of the Industrial Revolution and all, but King Clang would be too much. A helping hand from an adult would be necessary to make those gears stop turning. I always think that the Dynamo line lives in bodies of water because of their design. And although some do live in water, most are found in caves actually, which is a much safer place to hunt them. So I guess a kid could take Dynamo out. While electric may be too big of a challenge for them, but nothing someone with experience can handle. And the Electros? Just up the number for safety reasons. LGM, thankfully, can be found in the Pokemon world, unlike some other alien Pokemon, and the kids will make sure to make this Pokemon regret coming in peace. Dhem is the one you let your weird family member take care of. You know, the one who's prepped for the invasion. The kids will need to work together to defeat Litwick, so it won't absorb everyone's life force. Hospital workers probably have a lesson on how to deal with Lampent, so they won't hang around in hospitals even if it's just a hose. Chandelure is definitely needing something more than the fire extinguisher, and going alone against one also sounds very unwise, so it goes to the association. I can't see any number of kids defeating an Axel, but Fraxorus is not defeating a hunter either, so they are in the same tier. Haxorus is more of a modern hunt, with company of course. The only challenge a kid would have with a Cubchoo is finding one alone, because the Arctic is more of an unarmed kinda hunt. A group of kids would easily shatter a Cryogonal. Shelmet is a kid tier. Axelgor would need a good trap, so it doesn't run away, but not much more. Stunfisk is a similar strategy. Mienfoo, like most other fighters, is going to need at least someone bigger. With Mienshao, it seems fair to put it in the same tier as the Onis. Druddigon goes right behind. I believe it should be just shy of needing firearms. Golett and Pawniard can deal with the kids no problem, while Golurk and Bisharp are just stopping with some real power. 17th Taurus is going to the same tier as its Cantonian counterpart. Rufflet and Vullaby are back to the kids. Braviary and Mandibus share the tier with Hisuian Braviary. Hitmore should be able to shake the kids off its back, but one hunter would end its game. Durant may be difficult for the kids to separate them from the colony, but working together, I'm sure they can do it with minimal losses. Now for the big names. Dano, even if it's likely blind, would be too much for any kid, but an experienced hunter should be able to hide their scent and defeat it undetected. Same goes for Zweilous, but with its 2 heads, Bringing back up is likely the safest way to get your win. And Hydreigon? Yeah, that thing is going to the army. It's basically an even more pissed off Gyarados, with extra power, smart, and cruel. Man, this Pokemon rules. Larvesta would be getting stoned by a kid, but it's very rare encounter, basically 1% in every game it appears. So we have to up some tiers. Volcarona, even with its weakness, is still way too powerful. It goes to the Hunter Association, almost making it to the next tier. For the Swords of Justice, every one of them is definitely needing a team, with some a little more challenging than the others. The Genies are also going here. Different than the Enamoros, they will be tougher to defeat. For the cover legendaries, every one of them is an army tier. I mean, the easiest hunt would most likely be Basic Uran, and I think Copelucid City speaks for itself on how dangerous that would be. Oops, almost forgot about ya. Go there with your brothers. Moving on, Meloetta is not dancing against a bullet. And finally, Genesect. It should be at least a group of armed hunters. But I think I can definitely hear a case for an army, since it was created as a weapon. Let's go with army then. And that's it for Unova. I hope to see you next time in Kalos. Oh no, they're teaming up!